So we weren't going to make a video this week because in between Christmas and New Year is just so hectic, but we've had such a lovely time that we decided to make a video about making bread. So this is Louise, my lovely daughter-in-law, and she is showing me her method of making a slow-proof bread which tastes very like a sourdough. So enjoy, and I hope you've had a lovely Christmas. So Lou and I are in the kitchen.
Hello.
So we're making bread, and this is a new method. John usually bakes bread in our house, but Lou has got this new method. Well, not new to her, but new to us. So she's demonstrating how she makes bread involving a casserole. So I've never done that. So Lou is talking me through it, so I just thought I'd film it. So what have we got?
So we have got salt.
Salt.
Strong bread flour. It has to be strong.
Right.
It needs a lot of protein. I think it's over 12 grams of protein. So we mix that in there, and then we add warm water, a bit of honey, which is a bit of a different method, but
yeah.
Just like a little bit of honey, about 10 grams, and then only 2 grams of yeast.
All right.
So it's like actually, I think how many is in there?
Usually 5.
Yeah, so you only use 2 grams, but 2 times 7, so it's 7 grams in this.
Okay.
You only need 2 because it's like a very slow proof, about 18 hours. So
okay.
It's quite long. So I think the slow proof gives it that extra bubbles, which kind of gives it a sourdough kind of texture without it actually being a sourdough.
Right. So what we'll do, we'll film this as we go, but we will put the recipe at the end. So yes. I'm just here to do the filming because it's for this afternoon. It is Lou's kitchen.
So we need, I think it's about 16 grams of salt. Obviously this is 20.
Gee whiz, that's quite a lot of salt.
Let's just pretend that there's not that much salt in there and it's fine. But I guess there's quite a lot of bread flour as well.
Okay.
I think that's about 16.
God, that's a pile of salt. That is a lot of salt.
When you see the amount of dough we have, it's not a lot.
How many? Right, so your measurements for this today, how many loaves are you making?
Just one big loaf.
One big loaf.
Yes.
One big loaf, right, okay.
Which hopefully...
I trust you, Lou. You're a good baker.
We need quite a lot of flour. We need 860 grams.
I've just thought of something else. There's no fat. You've got no fat here?
No.
No fat?
No.
Okay.
No fat. And so far, it's been delicious.
Okay.
So, 860. I'm going to do this in 2 because I'm not sure what 800 will fit all in this.
That's alright, you take your time. If you need a spoon to spoon it back in the bag, that's fine.
So that's 400.
So far that's just the salt and the flour.
Yes. So then, we then need to, in a separate jug, which I think we've got
here, yeah.
Mix the warm water, honey and the yeast.
Right, so you'll need to measure the yeast though because that packet has, yeah,
so I need to
you'll need to sort that.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll work that out just now.
Yeah, it's like...
The packet of yeast was 7 grams, but you only need... 2. So we've chucked it in the measuring dish and we've split that in half, which is 3.5. So that should be reasonably easy to work out what 2 is.
Yeah, I'm gonna...
Lou's very methodical and she measures everything.
My scales have like it to a T at home, so it's like...
See, John is a chucker. I measure some things, but John is just a chucker-inner.
I'm a bit of a perfectionist. Sometimes it's good, other times it's a bit not ideal. But it's okay. We need 10 grams of honey as well in this.
Okay.
So I think I'm going to... add the yeast.
Are you going to chuck that away now then? Is that the extra yeast?
No, I haven't put any yeast in yet. So
Okay.
I'm gonna half this, say that's about 3.5.
So you're adding that into the water?
Yes, add this to the water.
Right.
I reckon about that much.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, we add a bit too much and it proves a little bit quicker than it's meant to. It's not the end of the
Well,
world.
no, it's fine because it'll feed off the sugar in the honey, and that'll make it. What's the word? It's not grow. Multiply. Because it's little cells, so that'll be fine.
Yeah, and then we need 10 grams of honey.
Okay.
I might just guess.
Right. Well.
10 grams.
Okay. I'm going to get you to say all that again because you told me off camera, and to be honest, I didn't understand it. So just tell me that again.
So I've weighed the full honey.
The full unopened pack of honey.
Yeah, and I can see it's about 375 grams on
Right.
here. So because I need 10 grams of it,
Yeah.
I find it easy just to squeeze a little bit at a time and reweigh it so I can see it go down by 10 grams. if that makes sense.
Right, yes, I get you now. Right.
Rather than me trying to weigh it 10 grams and pouring it in because it would stick to the tray.
Yes,
the honey.
right, I get you now.
So we just need a little bit at a time, basically, into the water. A little bit more. But not much more because...
So for folk watching, this is Christmas Eve. So we'll be using honey anyway for our parsnips and carrots.
Very exciting.
Well, it's basically a big Sunday roast, but we don't buy a bag of parsnips for ourselves, so it'll be nice to have parsnips and carrots.
Okay, so now... So that is warm, but
Right.
not hot, which is what we want. And then...
Because if it was too hot, it would kill the yeast.
Yes, exactly. So now,
And if it's not hot enough, it's not causing the yeast to start reacting.
Exactly. So
Right.
now we just add this into here, mix it all together
Okay?
until it's sticky,
Okay.
and then we'll move on to the next bit, but that's like...
That's
stretch and
fine.
fold.
That's fine. Now, I'm obviously going to come back to this to one that we've done earlier.
So we've now mixed it all together, the dough with the yeast, water and honey. And we now need to just cover this with a tea towel and leave it to rest for 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
15 minutes and then we'll come back.
Right. So we've just moved round to the other side of the kitchen because Lou needs to be near water.
So we're going to do our first set of stretch and folds.
Stretch and fold in the bowl.
In the bowl, yeah. So you need to basically grab it and pull it over. And it's going to be wet and it's going to be... You're just going to try and fold it over like that while wetting your hands in between. You need to do it about 4 to 6 times, twisting the bowl 90 degrees and trying to get it all from the side. So it's kind of activating the gluten in the bread, basically. As you...
Very scientific.
As you kind of go around. So I've done it 4 times now. I need to try and get the sides on each time and just fold it over like that. Got a bit of one more time.
So we've left this to sit under a tea towel for 15 minutes and then this is what we're doing now.
Yeah, so now once I've done that, you can see it's starting to go a bit more round.
Yeah.
We're going to leave it again.
I've got to say, it does look quite wet.
Yes, it's a sticky one.
Right.
It is sticky, but that's okay.
Okay.
So now we cover it again for 15 minutes.
For another 15 minutes.
15 minutes we come and do exactly the same thing. And then we leave it to do its thing overnight.
Yes, I was going to say, are we going to be professional and put the glass of wine down, or are you trying to be Mr. Floyd?
You caught me.
Yes, it's Christmas, but before we get too squiffy, we're concentrating on the bread.
So we've got one last set of stretch and folds before we let it do its thing overnight.
Okay.
So it's literally...
Now, from the last time you looked at this 15 minutes ago, does it look any bigger? It does look a bit bigger.
A little bit, but it will get considerably bigger overnight.
Oh my god, is the bowl big enough? I haven't got a bigger bowl. Well, there's the bath.
We'll see in the morning.
We'll see, folks, how much wine we drink.
Oh gosh.
See, this is a good thing because whenever we meet up with Lou and I both like white wine.
We do. We drink quite a lot of it.
And we do drink quite a lot of it. But we are good pals, and this is fun, and this is nice to do because tomorrow we'll have lovely bread.
We will. And look, that's so much kind of. You can really feel it, like
and give it
tightening now.
Yeah, but give it a wee. It's got a life now.
Yeah, can you see it? It's kind
wobbly.
Of starting to go a bit more round. So that's it now. I've done that. We then need to cover it with cling film.
Right, cling film's here. Dry your hands.
Thank you. And then watch it grow overnight.
Right.
Hopefully.
So if you're doing this at home, would you need a warm kitchen? You want a warm place?
So they want it like somewhere where there's like no draft, basically. It doesn't need to
that's
be
fine in
particularly
here.
warm.
Right.
Just somewhere where it's not like... And if you want it to slow down the proving process, you could leave it in the fridge, but it's recommended it's like room temperature, not too hot, not too breezy.
Right, because obviously we haven't eaten yet and John's going to cook, but we can put that over on the other worktop over there.
That sounds good, and we can just keep an eye on it. And hopefully tomorrow we've got, so that should be tight
a ginormous creature trying to make its way out of the bowl.
Yeah.
So here we are. Wow, trying to escape.
Look at that.
You happy? Is that how it's supposed to look?
I think it is, yeah. It's the first time it's actually risen and is like upright to the loaf. So look, it's very very alive, which is what we want. I think it's taken about 16 hours of proving to get to that.
So
it's about 9 AM now, isn't it?
Well, it might be because we couldn't measure the yeast properly, but it's good. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yes. So what we need to do now is flour the surface. It's going to make a bit of a mess of your kitchen. Sorry, Lorraine.
It's alright. You can tidy it up afterwards. Sharing the love.
Absolutely. And then what we need to do is pour this out onto the surface.
Oh my god, right.
Trying to break as little bubbles in this as possible. So I might need this just to get it off the side.
That's alright.
I'm going to try and do as much as I can without breaking these bubbles, which is very bubbly.
Wow.
Okay, so now what we want to do is the same as yesterday, maybe just put a little bit more flour around here. And we want to do some more stretch and folds and get it into a little bit more of a bread shape.
Okay.
But it's going to be quite sticky, so, which is normal, so let's not panic about how sticky it is. See, can you see it's starting to get a bit firmer and get a little bit more round.
The blob. It's like something out of science fiction film. Really does have a kind of life of its own.
You see that starting to not stick to the surface as well. And then we can just try and start shaping it a little bit.
I have to ask, do you need that bowl washed?
We don't need that anymore.
We don't need that anymore.
So this now, what we need to do, I'm just going to wash my hands and then we're going to flour the top and then just cover it with a tea towel for 2 hours.
So it's going to sit like that on the
Sit
work
like that
surface?
On the work surface for 2 hours.
Alright,
Then
okay.
We'll spread again and then we'll reshape and then it's ready for the oven.
Okay. That would be me in there, wouldn't it?
Oh.
Oh, looky. Oh my god, that's a thing of beauty.
It looks so good.
It does look so good. So we're just letting it cool for a few minutes and then we're going to lift it out and stick it on the cooling rack and then we're off out. But it does look very hard. But Lou says when it's cooling that softens a wee bit, and I quite like the idea of the baking paper because not only does it stop it sticking to the bottom of the casserole, but it also means it's quite easy to lift out. So can't wait.
Oh.
Oops.
I think we've burned this.
Oh dear, we're having a moment.
I think we're going to have to.
So maybe next time we put 2 layers of baking powder, baking paper in.
Maybe.
Because that was a wee bit fragile. But the bread has survived. Oh, looky.
Yeah, because where it's gone in, see, it's gone into the cracks a little bit.
So we are at the slicing stage. Dun, dun, dun. Doesn't it look fab? And look, there's a bit of give. Ooh, let's have a feel. I'm impressed. Right.
Let's see what it looks
We've got
like.
the cutting then. I just can't believe this. Oh, that is beautiful.
Look at that.
That is good. That is good. Right, we have to have a taste test. So I just thought I'd do a final video on the bread. So this is the day after baking, and as you can see, not a lot left. And it's been lovely. I think for John and I would make this bread the way that Louise does it, and there will be a recipe at the end, but I think for me and John, we would half the quantity, because a big loaf like that, we're going to struggle to get through in a day or 2 days. But absolutely brilliant, very like sourdough, really nice bread with a not too hard crust. So I'm quite impressed with that. So well done, Lou. It was great for her to do the video for us. If you like it, do mention in the comments, well done, Lou. And we'll see you next time.
Losing.
Lorraine is currently losing.
Lorraine, it's not looking good.
No.
It's not over till it's over though.
Yeah.
You see, it's a dark horse. Everyone thinks he really doesn't know anything and he's quite quiet and whatever. And he's like, that's not funny, you can't jump when you're a king.
You can.
It's getting quite competitive on Christmas Eve. He will win.
No! No!
It's not looking good, is it? No.
Right, so
John won that round 2. How do you feel, Lorraine?
gutted.
Oh.
I was robbed.